Okay, let's get into the woods. The best advice I ever got. So, when I was a little kid, I'd never ever even met a professional magician. I grew up in Texas and in Alabama, and the closest to a real professional magician I'd ever gotten was watching them on television or occasionally seeing a magician perform in my elementary school gym. I think I saw one my entire elementary school and high school career, one professional magician. So my access to who and what professional magicians were would be television and magic magazines. Back in the day, you could subscribe to the Magic magazine, to Genie magazine. So I would pore over these magazines trying to figure out, okay, what does it take to be a professional entertainer, a professional show business person, in my case, a professional magician. But really, I always wanted it to be broader than simply just a magician. I wanted to be an entertainer. I wanted to bring some happiness and some joy. But I loved doing magic tricks. And I wasn't very good. In fact, I don't have a natural ability to do magic tricks or to create magic tricks. I don't have a naturally deceptive mind. In fact, when I was a kid, I would actually drop my props. I would forget the routines. I just not a particularly natural magician. That actually took work, but I really loved it. I loved the response, the oohs and the ahs, and the laughter in particular is something that I very, very much love about magic and what magic actually creates. So, television, local gym, but most of all, magic magazines. And the hero in the magic magazines that I read about as a kid was this guy named Mr. Electric, Marvin Roy. He was the insider. He was an insider inside the insider group, right? And he was clever. He was interesting, and he toured the world. I mean, the guy had performed at Radio City Music Hall. He had been on all of the TV shows. I mean, in my mind, he was, in fact, the personification of what a big-time show business person would be like. Marvin Roy, Mr. Electric. His entire theme was performing magic with light and with light bulbs, which is, you know, think about it, that's a really daring theme, and I loved it as a kid. So one day I'm thumbing through my my magic magazine. It's probably was the Genie magazine, the Conjurer, the International Conjurers magazine, the Genie magazine. And I'm thumbing through, and I see there's going to be a magicians convention at the Florida Magicians Convention, and it's going to be like in Winter Park or Orlando. It's, you know, I mean, not that far away. I mean, I live in Alabama, and Florida is the next bordering state, and I'm thinking, what, are you kidding me? Mr. Electric will actually be at a convention, and like I could go, and I could actually meet Mr. Electric? How remarkably fantastic would that be? So I started saving my cash so I could go to the Florida Association of Magicians convention. Okay, so I saved my money. I send in this submission. I'm going. I'm gonna meet Mr. Electric. That's my raison d'être. That's my goal. That's what I'm gonna do. So the convention comes, and man, I got eyes on the prize, baby. I am gonna meet Mr. Electric, Marvin Roy. I'm gonna meet the guy. So I scan around for about a half a day, and then I spot him. That's him. I mean, I know him because I've seen his picture a gazillion times in all of my magazines, right? So I go over and I say, hello, Mr. Roy, Mr. Electric. My name is Steve. I'm studying theater at a small university in Alabama, and I don't have a clue what it will take to be a professional show business person. Do you have any advice? And Marvin Roy is a very kind person. He has a reputation for being very generous. And he turned to me and really with a really lovely smile. I'm probably like 19 years old or something. I'm not very old. And he says, yes, I do have some advice for you. And so, my ears go super duper big because I want to hear this advice from the man, the show business legend. And he says, so if they want a magician, there are literally thousands of choices out there. But if they want the guy with the light bulbs, they want me. My advice? Go find your light bulb. And then, boom! Like an explosion. I instantly knew what manna from heaven this was. This guy had just given me exactly what I needed. What I needed was to find my own light bulb. Find that thing that makes me so unique. Man, if you want the guy with the light bulbs, you don't want anybody but Mr. Electric. That's who you want. So, at that moment, as a 19-year-old magician, entertainer type, I went looking for my light bulb, actively looking for my light bulb. The interesting thing too is I was such a neophyte that he could see my joy and that he had given me something that I could really, really use. And he said, "Well, if you'll meet me a little bit later, I'll give you one of my press kits." Now, I can confess today, I had no idea what a press kit was, but Mr. Electric was going to give it to me. What? You're going to give me a press kit? I want one of those. Whatever it is, I want it. So, sure enough, Mr. Electric later brought me his press kit, and it was magnificent. It was this fold-out thing with photos and, with press releases and all kinds of stuff in there. Nowadays, we do it electronically. But way back then, they did it with printed paper, and I didn't even know what it was. But Mr. Electric, he really set the template for who Steve Trash was, because I had to get out there and find what my light bulb was, and it was an extremely exciting journey, and I'm very much indebted to Marvin Roy for setting me on this path. And I truly believe that you can find your light bulb as well, and you and I, we're going to work on that right now.
3 p.m.